can actually have tuberculosis without knowing. Welcome to my channel. I am Pharmacist God's Gift, and on this channel I talk on health matters and drug information. Tuberculosis is a very contagious disease that is spread from one person to another, and tuberculosis is usually airborne disease. Tuberculosis is usually caused by a bacteria that is called the mycobacterium tuberculosis. Right on this video, I'm going to be explaining the symptoms of tuberculosis and how one can contact tuberculosis. Let's slide on to the symptoms of tuberculosis. There are a lot of symptoms of tuberculosis, but the major symptoms of tuberculosis are: 1. A cough that lasts more than 3 weeks that usually comes with blood or chest pain. Secondly, night sweat. Thirdly, unintentional or unexplained weight loss. Fourthly, loss of appetite. And finally, severe fever. Therefore, if one comes up with these symptoms accompanied with cough which lasts more than 3 weeks with production of blood and chest pain, that might be a sign of tuberculosis. So the person needs to run to the hospital to carry out some laboratory investigation to know exactly what is wrong with the person. Now let's move on to how this tuberculosis is being contacted from an infected person to the person that is not yet being infected with the mycobacterium tuberculosis. When a person with pulmonary tuberculosis speak, and particularly when they cough or sneeze, they produce an aerosol droplet from the bronchi tree, and each of these contains a number of bacilli, and these droplets of bacilli are very infectious. This is how someone is being infected. So when someone coughs, they sneeze, or they speaks, they produces droplets of tuberculosis, which is called the bacilli, into the air. That is why I said tuberculosis is an airborne disease, because the bacilli are being dropped in the air, and this air will now carry this droplet to those that have not been infected. And these droplets of bacilli in the air are usually higher when the person coughs or sneezes. They're like over 3,500 droplets of bacilli when they cough, and over 1,000,000 of bacilli when they sneezes that are being released into the air. Now let's look at those that are living in a closed room with an already infected person. What usually happens? In a closed room or a closed space, the droplets of the mycobacterium tuberculosis are usually active. They can stay alive for over several hours in that closed space, especially when the room is dark. They are very, very infectious. So they are infectious more in the night in a closed environment or room. But in an open space, room or environment where there is direct sunlight and air, the bacilli cannot survive or reproduce easily, because there is direct sunlight that is hitting on them, thereby reducing the level at which they are being infectious. Therefore, the risk of one getting infected by tuberculosis from a person that is already being infected is reduced when they are in an open space or in a place where there is direct sunlight and air. The closer and the prolonged contact you have with person that already have tuberculosis in their body, the greater the risk of you being infected with the tuberculosis also. And also, children, pregnant women, and those with weak immune system, like those with HIV disease or diabetes or hypertension and the rest, are also at very high risk of contacting tuberculosis very easily. Also, there are vaccines that have been made for children to prevent them from coming up with tuberculosis. And children don't usually cough out this blood and the rest. So their stool are being used to determine if they have tuberculosis or not. So every parent should try to take their kids for immunization when it is time for their immunization schedule. Thank you for staying tuned to the end. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, click the notification bell on that screen, and also share this video to every person out there. Bye.